Hello and welcome to another edition of Geffen Digital Signage QuickVids. What I'm going to show you today are projects that have been created in the Digital Signage Director software for use with the Geffen Digital Signage Creator to give you an example of what can be done in terms of interactive projects, live dynamic content that's being pulled in. So let's go ahead and just take a look at some projects. I'm just going to open up the My Projects folder here and dive into our first project that we'll take a look at. And what this is actually a receptionist demo project. So what we can have, what we see here is a video playing back here, which is just a looped video. We're actually pulling in live weather here in the bottom section of the screen. In the upper section, or this bar here at the top, we actually leave it open for a live messaging system. This is actually tied directly into Google's calendar. Or the calendar section of Google, where our secretary can actually put in or schedule messages to be shown here. When we have people coming into the office, we like to use that. And the interface she uses is that Google interface, so it's not something that's very difficult to use. And the best part about it, she doesn't actually have to dive into the software here to make any changes or to update that message. Over here on the left-hand side, we're actually pulling in live news. I believe this is actually coming in from Yahoo. So again, just a simple receptionist, weather, video, live news, so dynamic assets, and this section at the top, which is left open for messaging in our reception area. So why don't we go ahead and see what else we've got here. I've got a whole bunch of demo projects, but we'll take probably a look at some of the main projects that we have here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this Geffen demo project. And this is actually a combination of a couple of different projects that I've created over some time. Now, this is interesting. This is actually from ESPN. Geffen actually partnered with ESPN here in Los Angeles. By the way, that loading screen is something that's been superimposed. That's actually not really loading anything. But what we did is we actually partnered with ESPN here in Los Angeles for their X Games 16. And what we did is we created this demonstration or this digital signage application where they were getting live information about the day's activities as well as the venue that the activity is playing back in. There we go, it just popped up on screen. And an animation that would play back that was specific to the venue. So this is actually all tied in to the venue that appears here. And this information was actually being pulled from a database or CSV file. And when they wanted to modify a time or an activity or the venue, they could do that on the fly using the CSV. And again, so we'll see an animation for the street course here playback, because that's the information that's being populated here. A live RSS feed. This actually should be live now. But definitely a very successful partnership with ESPN, and we continue to work with them on different projects. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at another project here. Let's see, Fasten. This is actually a demonstration of a quick service restaurant application for usage in a cafeteria. So this fake restaurant called Fast and Hot actually is pulling all of its information, including where the images are located, directly from, you guessed it, a CSV file, same kind of database file. So we've got soups and snacks, sandwiches and rolls. These images are just links inside of that CSV document. Of course, date and weather. Very simple application. What you're going to find a lot of times with these projects is the difference between a good project and an even better project is in many cases just the background that's being used. So for example, this here, the background that's actually being used for this project is a single image that was created inside of Adobe Illustrator. We exported it as a PNG for the alpha transparency, and we used it here, and all this information, which is basically text in a single image, is then overlaid on top of that. Okay, so other projects that we have here. Here's a project I'd like to show. This was actually created by a partner up in Canada who had only 30 minutes of training with the Digital Signage Director software. So she used this to create a very interesting application for a show in Montreal. And here we go. I mean, she's got basically a few playlists that she's manipulated to run sideways. Another playlist here showing some images scrolling up and down. And again, a difference here. A very well-constructed, pre-zoned out background. See, moving on, another project that we can take a look at here. Here's an interesting application that actually we are currently using here at Geffen. I'll go ahead and open up the index file for this project. This is actually being used by Geffen's project management team. So we have a display in project management where we're pulling in live information currently right now off of an XML file. So this XML file is periodically being updated by our internal SQL servers, and we've got a script in there that basically updates our XML file every I believe it's every 10 minutes. And so every time that file is updated, in turn, our boxes are also updated because we are live linking to that file, because remember, the DSC is a dynamic type box. So I just wanted to give you guys a taste out there of some of the different things we can do with this box, pulling in live information, weather, data, in this case, connecting to a database via an XML file. So these are definitely some of the possibilities. There's a whole bunch out there, and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.